everyone, and welcome to Answer the Call, the Star Citizen podcast with Croncy, who's sick again, but is toughing it out and joining the podcast with us today. It's the Star Citizen podcast with myself and Croncy, where we talk about the current events going on in Star Citizen, sometimes a specific topic that we want to hear more about you from, and what we do here that was unique and special, but I think some other shows do similar things now, is we open up our Discord and bring you guys on to hear what you think about it. Today, we're going to talk about 4.8.1 dropping. It has not fixed a lot of the issues that people have with 4.8. A lot of people are comparing 4.8 to 3.18. I don't think that's necessarily fair.
Yeah, that's a bit aggressive.
That's crazy. And then there are some economy things that are going on in Star Citizen that are causing a little bit of controversy, at least did for a few moments. And we'll cover a few other minor things as well. But as we do at the beginning of the podcast, you're sick. Obviously, that's what's going on with you. But any other news in your world before we get going?
I got to do some fun stuff just before I got sick. So the Valorant scene in Australia got kind of like annihilated last year. They removed a bunch of the leagues and made it like almost impossible for any Australians to get into like the high league stuff for Valor into the VCT. And then this weekend, the place where I work, Fortress, which some of you will remember was the same location that we did the Enter Atmosphere this year, got permission from Riot to like run some tournaments and stuff that lead into that. So I got to do some fun little
cool.
esports admin stuff this weekend, which was fun. And then other than that, I've been playing some PoE this week. I never had played it before.
You've never played it before?
Never played it before. I got
Your
some
life's
mates
over.
who were really into it.
It's my understanding you will play nothing else for the foreseeable future.
I have played plenty of addicting games, and this one is fun. It is good fun. I'm enjoying it. But it definitely feels like it's going to be. I'll be done with it in like a couple of days, probably.
Really? Okay. Because the reason I've never played it is my understanding is it's GG. Like you're never going to stream Star Citizen again. You're never going to you're just a PoE person now. Because it's that good.
One of the coolest things is just how much customization there is in the game and stuff like that. But once again, it's one of those things of like, I feel like if I have the experience once in a lot of these locations, I'm kind of done. And I don't necessarily need to run it back with different classes or whatever. But I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying what I've been playing this week. So that's
been PoE 2 or 1 , by the way. Somebody was asking.
Anyway,
I assume so.
They had there was like a free weekend last weekend. They got me to play it, and then ended up grabbing it.
Hell yeah, nice. I played a lot more Star Miner this week. I think we talked about it last week. Outside of that, I barely played any SC, and then most of the news happened.
Did everyone. Not many people played a lot of SC this week.
It was often down during my stream time this week, multiple days. So I was just like, oh, well.
That's a good point. Yeah, I was going to say rip the Australian time zone, but you also stream in the Australian time zone, basically.
Right. So it's a little bit weird. So I actually, thanks to many things going on around the world, I barely have any sponsors anymore. So one of the things that certain sponsors asked me to do was hold on to their products. So I confirmed that they probably won't be doing much business with me any longer. So I held on to a lot of the products. I still stand by everybody I did sponsors with. By the way, I've held on to all their fucking products because they're great. But I've thrown away tons of boxes because I was holding on to the boxes too because it's part of the sponsorship. So that's what I did. I cleaned my room. So thank you, CIG, for going down all week because I have this huge thing that I have it's hard to see, but I have joysticks and computer parts and stuff on it. And I just cleared out all the crap that I don't need anymore. And my room is really clean. So I took a day off stream and was like, I need to do this. So I feel, when you clean stuff, you just feel better for 5 minutes at least. Sometimes I just had to do that. So that's what I did, but we said we were not going to waste too much time. So what do we want to get in? Do we want to get the smaller, less impactful topics out of the way first, or do we want to get right into?
I think jump right into 4.8.1 because it also leads into a lot of other of the other things.
Let's do it.
So patch release. This is one of the .x patches. As all of you would be aware, pretty much for the entire Invictus, there was lots and lots of problems during the game. that we were hoping would get fixed, and then it just feels like everything got worse with this patch release.
Well, they
It was
also
supposed to be the introduction of these missions,
yeah.
as well as like the Xenothreat stuff. But yeah, it's just it is a bad launch, bad release.
Yeah, like not only did it release in a weird way, but it released in a way that we've never really seen before. Like our launcher would say
Yeah.
4.8.1, but all they did was turn on the missions initially, and then we got a hot fix that acted like a proper patch the next day or on Friday, like 2 days later. So there's been a lot of weird, like there are no fixes listed in the initial 4.8.1 release notes, right? Because there were no fixes in that patch. And then on Friday we got the fixes for things like some of the problems around the ironclad and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So it was like a weird way of doing things. Do want to say feedback on these missions. I think that they're pretty cool. I was like, all right, I need to go get footage for them for weekend review and so on and so forth, and just like play it on stream. And hey, how do you approach most missions that you play in the game? I don't know how you guys do. I often didn't spend a lot of time upgrading my ships. So I would just take out a Constellation or a Corsair and I would just go do missions, right? And you can complete most missions doing that. I did that with 2 of my friends. And let me tell you something. The higher level defend missions, which I had rep for because this is the blueprints that I've been grinding for, they were legitimately difficult. And we didn't fail because they were failing, which they are, because of bugs. We were failing because it was too hard in a lot of cases. So the need to upgrade your weapons
in a good way or a bad way? Like when you say too hard. Yeah, cool.
In a good
way.
way.
So not overtuned. Just
possibly not
tuned.
overtuned. Yeah, tuned to needing multiple players, needing to upgrade to better weapons, and possibly upgrade to crafted versions of those weapons to kill players fast enough. So I was doing 300k payout defend missions, I think, somewhere around there, and they were actually quite difficult. So that was awesome. But yeah. So that's all I really have to say on that, because they took them out of the game because they don't work. So they're not even there for you guys to try them now, is my understanding. At least that's what was said in the notes. So I forgot to turn the intro off. It's been years since I forgot to do that. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so that's where we're at with those. Not much to say because we don't even have them, right? So it's kind of a representation of where we are right now. I don't know if you have anything.
And then people just not like in addition to that, people just not being able to log in properly, people not even being able to join servers. Hab elevators are broken everywhere. The maintenance went on for like 12 hours, which we only had. So they only started doing maintenance
this year,
start of last year,
or end of last year.
It was definitely last year, but it was. I don't think it was like start of last year. It was like 4.0 and stuff. They started to do like the downtimes every now and then.
Yeah.
So this is technically the longest downtime we've ever had as well.
Yeah.
And still things were just completely borked. I am really curious what has broken the game. It's probably not just one thing, but like when we talk about Star Citizen, there are certain levels of broken, and this is very, very, very broken. It is not, like you said, how some people have been comparing it to 3.18. It's not that level of broken. But it is probably the most broken the game's been since 3.18.
Possibly, and I think it's a perspective thing. So it's really unfair for me to say it's as broken because I have not gotten shard locked and I did not get the 60k error. But then you see other people like, Captain Foxy Loxy, for example, like wasn't able to get in for 5 days, all this drama around his video and stuff. Those people feel exactly how 3.18 felt, right? So it's like, it's a matter of perspective on that one. But
I have one theory, which is like actually in the monthly report, which we'll talk about later, where they introduced like a patch to some like underlying tech that is responsible for a lot of like player item copying and persistence and stuff like that. So I wonder if that might have been, at least for like the player shard locking and stuff, that might have been the catalyst for some of these.
I think that, somebody was saying the 60Ks were regional. So when they do downtime, like here's my understanding of the initial downtime on Tuesday, they always do downtime before free fly and then after it. So my assumption is we are doing behind the scenes tech for servers to deal with the increased load, and then we are doing behind the scenes tech for servers to deal with the decreased load, to
Yeah.
pay less money. And maybe something happened there with that in relation to certain regions or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
In the end, I always say this: I don't care why something happens. I care that it does happen, and I care that it's not
Yeah.
fixed yet, or that like things don't work. Like Star
Yeah.
Citizen fans, because they're so like game development and we're testing, we're fixing. Like they're so coded in this way that those things matter to them for some reasons, but in reality,
Yeah.
none of this stuff actually matters, and it's just like it happened, they fixed it. It happened, they didn't fix it. Like,
Yeah.
and we should just be like, "Hello, fix. What are we doing?"
Yep.
It's not our job to investigate why things happen. It's something that
Yeah.
I have a pet peeve about, I guess. Um, I don't know. Where do you want to go next?
So the other thing that got kind of introduced with this patch as well, and is sounding like it's going to be an ongoing thing that changes patch to patch and day to day, is some economy changes that are sounds like designed to mostly try to combat issues with duping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I have mixed. Well, we can talk about the drama of it right at the start, but at the very least, in terms of the announcement and stuff, I've got mixed feelings at the moment.
Yeah. So let's quickly get the drama part out of the way
Yeah.
because I heard about this morning or late last night. Benoit was in testing chat, and
Hmm.
when he found out, because I guess he didn't even know, when he found out what the initial this is all hearsay, so please
The
don't take my
values.
word that this is.
Yeah.
I did not see his words. This is through somebody else. That when he heard what the values that were chosen were, which was one, you can only do a transaction of 1 million at any given time, and you can only do 5 million in a day. When he
Yeah.
like LOL'd when he saw those numbers because they obviously
Yeah.
make no sense. And
Yeah.
just like quickly, I brought this up to say, like, this is the value of one pure Karenite on UEX.
Yeah.
Nobody can trade then. So obviously, if anybody had, half of a brain cell of how we play the game, they wouldn't have chose these numbers. So maybe those
Hmm.
numbers were just temporary for testing and then they didn't change it. Whatever. Doesn't matter why it happened again. It matters that it
Yeah.
did happen. And then it matters that they reverted it and fixed it, right? So we can
Yes.
kind of avoid that part of the drama, which was most of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you were going to talk about why it exists in general and where your feelings are,
Yeah.
right?
So yeah. So like I said, it's very much like this is to try to combat duping and try to combat like RMC, sorry, RMT and all this sort of stuff.
Sure.
Um, I okay. So they mention in the because there was an actual post about it, which I believe is that link there.
I have
And
two
in
of
it, they
them. Yeah,
mentioned that
I have
like
both posts.
it, yeah,
Here we go.
that it was part of this is temporary, which is the online requirement. Because I do hate that. I think that is just ridiculous. So many people are part of orgs and whatnot, where it's like, hey, we just spent our time doing TSG, and then we've sold all everything we've gotten or whatever, and we need to start splitting
Yeah.
money.
Some of those
It's
guys may have logged out
unrealistic
in the
to have
middle
to.
of it. Like, yeah, like
Exactly, it is
my example.
unrealistic to have to wait.
Exactly. My example of how we run our org is like the most extreme thing ever, where you buy shares to the company once a month. We pay you
Yeah.
out the profits of the entire company. Of course, you're not going to be
Hmm.
online, right? But I don't want to take our situation and be like, they should change it right now because of my. No. But like, the same problem exists with like a normal group session where it's like, all right, man,
Yeah.
my wife's, got me. I got to leave, guys. I'll see you later. Like, I can't even pay that guy out at the end. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So even as a temporary solution, I don't like this at all.
No.
I think it like I cannot imagine this is going to solve any short-term issues really, other than just kind of annoy us. Um, I am happy that they want to look for another solution, but it just seems like a weird one. The bit that I do like is the authorization verification. Like yeah, I should be able to say yes or no to someone giving me money. Uh, like in most games, that is the case. Most MMOs, you have that ability. Someone sends you money in WoW, you can just not take the money out of the envelope, right? You could just leave it there to expire or whatever. So, um, yeah, that's why it's kind of mixed feelings. I like that they're approaching it and that they're making it an action item. Just not sure that this temporary solution seems like not a solution at all.
Okay. Like, here's my feelings about the the like verification part
Yeah.
is, while I agree with you, like, because kind of what you said, of course I should be able to. I should also, I think we should just have more player agency in these situations. So I should be able to
Yeah.
say, deny all transactions from people not on my friends list. At some point when we
Hmm.
have orgs, deny all transactions for people not in my org, or something
Yeah.
like that, or deny transactions above this amount, or ask for verification for,
Yeah.
right? So like I should be able to customize this as much as possible. Do I expect
Yeah.
that today in 4.8?
No.
No, not necessarily. But for the time it took to do this, maybe we could have done that. Because we have that ability for the notification to show up, and we can choose when it
Yeah.
does and when it doesn't. Could we choose to accept or auto decline or something like that? No, no. So somebody in the chat is saying you can already do that. That's not true. It's about the notification showing up on your screen, the Kennedy.
Yeah.
It's not denying the transaction. It's denying the notification. So you'll still get the transaction, but you will not get the notification. Just
Yeah.
I thought the same thing, and then I actually went and looked at the options, and it was like, oh no. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, need a little bit more player agency on that, I would say. And then even then, I think the examples I gave are a little bit more in depth on that
Yeah.
one. So I would love to see that rather than these completely. There's a lot of handcuffs going on here, and I
Mhm.
would like to see less handcuffs in a game that wants to be a sandbox and give players the agency of what they want and what they don't want. And
Yeah.
let's remember, why are they creating this? I'm trying not to get the 30K. But why did they create this solution to a problem? When was this problem? This
Yeah.
problem was when players hit hundreds of millions, billions, and more credits on their account, and money mattered not at all. And players were just people thought their accounts were bricked because of how much money was on it, right? Things like that, and then
Yeah.
they were sending it to other people to unbrick their accounts. So
Yep.
this was an exploit that was resolved.
Mhm.
So this will be less of an issue in general. Not that it's not an issue at all, because there's still insane inflation in the game, and there will be this issue in a matter of probably months, 6 months minimum, or 6 months maximum. Will be in the same spot, just significantly less money being spread around. But
Yeah.
yeah, um, so the
One
issue
thing
still
I would
exists.
like
But
to, yeah, one thing I'd like to see with the transaction limits and stuff, instead of making it like a static amount that you can have each day, I would much rather, like, and this is because of the current system that they want to do where everyone's online. But let's scrap that for now, and so that you can still do it with offline. I would like it if there was like an X amount of limit, a limit to the amount of like open transactions you can have at a time, because that would also kind of solve the problem a little bit. So it's like I've sent, let's say I've got 5 transactions I can use. I've sent Mike money, but he's not online. I've sent 4 other people money. They haven't come online yet either. Mike comes online. He gets the transaction. He approves it, gets the money. I now have 1 available that I can do.
sure, are you aware of the timer though?
No.
Okay, so there's a timer. It's 2 minutes to accept.
Sure.
But I assume, like you're saying, well, we would like to do something where it's offline. So you're just talking about the future,
Exactly,
right? Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. This is a what I would see as a nice solution for further down the track, where
Yeah.
also we're not restricted by only online transactions.
Perfect. Yeah, the number of open transactions you can have at any given time is a great one,
Yep.
because that's like I think a good one. But then again, my org will struggle with this too. Without org tools and things like that, it's going to be a big problem for us. But and because we're going to look like RMTers, even though we're playing the game legitimately.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Then their approach to limits, they're saying, oh, we want things to be frictionless. All you did was add friction to the system. So what are you talking about? But again, to be clear, we went from a 5 million limit and something that was extremely restrictive to a situation where I had 30 million on my account and did not find the limit. So that limit is very high. So the friction is likely gone at this point, and only the biggest abusers are going to be found in this situation, is my understanding. They also said, hey, we're not going to get the right values right away. And then something that I posted on Twitter that you might have saw, something that's definitely going to be in Week in Review, something that is in a video that is going live in like a few minutes probably, is hey guys, be patient with us. These things are going to change over time. And
Yeah.
I made sure to where are we here? To show this post, which was Tier 0 item recovery, which said
Yeah.
all the same things. And what has happened to Tier 0 item recovery? Literally 0 things have changed from the moment that this post was posted. And this post was posted in March of 2025, folks. So, they say things to set expectations, but their actions are usually very different. So it's just a reminder of that, to not necessarily fall for what they say and just pay attention to what they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't believe anything they say until they change, actually, in 4.8.2, make a change to this. In 4.9, make a change to, and so on. And last quick thing, I am fully aware that we are on the cusp of the next stage of item recovery. As a matter of fact, we literally have it in 4.8, right? We just don't have it for FPS weapons and armor. So, that change is coming, which is great, but it's been a year since they said, oh, we're going to be constantly iterating on this. No, you're not. So don't have that expectation for this either until they give you a reason to. Anything else you want to talk about on that? I think there's really
like,
not much.
I'm just
It's
curious.
not that big of a deal. It's just the thing that's happening right now.
Yeah, I'm just curious how the numbers will change over the course of the next few weeks. That's all.
Yeah, and I have ranted enough. I don't have to say anything else. Of this is CIG band-aiding the fact that they have not implemented anything in the game or solved the root of any problem. This is not the solution to any problem. This is just a band-aid that will eventually become a problem that it will need another band-aid. And again, in the end, the solution is making the game. And that is something that they refuse to do. Okay. I'm just going to click on the sneak peek so we can look at something pretty.
He's the
Since we just looked at text. It's
I'm
the
so
Raylan.
keen on the Raylan. I'm really, really excited for it. They also talk about it in the monthly report, and they talked about it during SCL and stuff. We know it's coming, but I'm very keen. I'm really curious to see what they did with the cargo on this thing.
Not only that, it's every image that we've seen of the Raylan, the scale of it never really translates until this.
Yeah, because it looks like a weird little gorilla sitting down, so it's hard to gauge. But it was 300 SCU. I believe that got changed. It's like 500 or something.
It's like 600 something. It's like a lot, right? This thing, when you look at the character and the turret, is huge, and it's a cargo ship that unfortunately looks like it has those side turrets, which are the least effective turrets possible. But they look like min size 4 guns.
Yeah, they're gonna be 4.
We're getting clarification. 620 SCU in the chat. So minimum size 4, maybe larger, and this ship appears to be massive.
Yeah,
massive.
Yep.
And if you want to see a leak and spoil yourself, they posted the Raylan concept art on ArtStation. So you might be able to see what they did with the cargo if you really want to. I'm avoiding that. I want to see the pretty stuff in the sale. So I haven't seen it yet. So that's that. Excited. Alien Week's next week, I believe. Correct, guys? I think.
Typically. It'll be next week or the week after.
Sure. You want to go roadmap next?
Yeah, let's do it. So we know some stuff that is, well, at least aiming for 4.9, although they tend to not miss with these as much anymore. So pretty much these are going to 4.9. We knew Siege of Arsenal was coming, which sweet. So obviously Siege of Arsenal and Instant Scene got put on the roadmap for it. The thing that got me really excited though, I've already been excited for these and we've already talked about these a bunch. The thing that got me really excited was the armor in the roadmap.
Yeah.
Because it is armor with, get this, chat, a purpose. Crazy, right?
What's the purpose?
It is the only armor that can use the heavy gun that is also coming with the patch.
Sure. Okay. Hold on, I guess sneeze too.
Oh god. He's contracted it through the podcast. Yeah.
It's coming through the camera somehow. I'm just trying to bring up the image at the same time, and I looked at the lights, and it made me sneeze. Um,
Yep.
so that's what it looks like.
Hmm.
I actually
Bulky.
what were yeah, bulky, but it's like a fatter fat suit. Were
Yeah.
were you expecting something bigger than this, or was this what you were expecting?
I don't think I expected something bigger than this.
I
It's very similar
was.
to the big heavy armors that they showed at the SitCon
Sure,
Manchester
sure.
were very much like this. So I was kind of expecting something like that.
I was expecting something more like the Atlas, believe it or not.
That I get it because like
Yeah.
dedicated kind of suit thing, but I just feel like it'd be too big. Like it's that would be its own thing. I feel like
Yeah, fine, but I
maybe.
guess that's in my mind, like, we all
Yeah.
had to imagine what it would be. That's where my mind
Yeah.
went, so when I saw this, I was like, "Oh." And in case nobody knows, like, the big special thing with this is you can't heal yourself with it. You need to be healed by somebody else, so it'll have, like,
Yeah.
massive damage mitigation, but once you hit a threshold, somebody has to heal you, so there's, like, this
Yeah.
unique gameplay with it.
I've
Um
also got to imagine we're going to be so slow to run in this thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then you mentioned the super heavy weapon. This is the image of that, which is called the heavy
Yes.
machine gun. So
Big
think
gun.
think walking around and just spraying is
Yeah.
probably gonna be this. Um, yeah, kind of cool. The next one, I did not like. Curious what you think about it. It's
Was the combat clothing?
combat clothing. Yeah,
So every MMO is Barbie, right? We're all just playing
fair,
Barbie.
fair.
But um there's just no reason for this to exist at the moment outside LARPing.
This feels
That's
like
it.
Fortnite all of a sudden.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say it feels like
Not
Fortnite.
not like to that extent, but it's like this has armor and it's like, wait, okay, I get it because like it's 1,000 years in the future, so certainly this material could be, less penetrate. Like it could,
Yeah.
you can see it, but yeah,
I don't think that's a problem. I'm not in agreement there. But like I said, my problem is just like it has no actual practical purpose in the game at the moment. Like why wear this instead of any armor?
yeah, like there are no missions at in Orison where you
Yeah,
need to
exactly.
not be walking around in armor or something.
Yeah.
So kind of
It'd be
goofy, a
cool
little
if
bit
there
weird.
was, but like yeah, the content for it just doesn't exist yet. It's pure LARP at the moment.
Yeah. And for me, it'll be like I don't know if you have armor on, or I don't know. It's a weird one. And then the rest of the stuff is kind of whatever. Drake Clipper will be at Wicklow. Nobody even uses
Lots of
Wicklow.
mentions of Recco
Recco.
in both this and the monthly report.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, in 3.9. So one thing that I guess I'm expecting now is sort of story-based mining missions, presumably.
Sure. And I guess if we briefly touch on the monthly report, there was lots of
Yeah.
talk about 4.9 and narrative elements. So we know we get
Yes.
Xenothread at the end of 4.8. Where that takes us next, who knows? Right? So
What I'm expecting is because 4.9 is the instancing patch and we're getting Siege of Orison, based on the monthly report, it sounds like they're getting like it is not just going to be a straight up reskin, chuck it into instancing. It sounds like they've actually put some stuff into it to make it narratively interesting, which you would imagine with instancing that starts happening,
yeah.
right? If you have an instance location, you can also start to do like, you know, not actual cinematic, but like cinematic light animations and stuff because you don't have to worry too much about the weird implications that happen when it's like super open world.
Yep.
What I mean like this is like uh the animations at the end of the Onyx facility where like the Vandal gets shocked and that sort of stuff. You can do a lot more of those things.
Hopefully you could do what should have happened at the end of the Onyx facilities and actually kill
Yeah.
Dr. Jorrit or see him run away or
Yeah.
do what should have been done there.
Yeah.
God, I hope one day they go back to that and do what should have been done. And I think they will one day, to be honest,
He'll be
once they have
back.
the tools.
He'll be back.
I
Dr.
don't
Jorah Part
think
2 is coming.
I don't think he'll be back as in they'll add on to it. I think they'll give it the proper ending it deserves one day when they can.
Oh, I was gonna say I reckon they'll just make another storyline where he's doing some other different types of dodgy things.
Well, okay, fine, but then at the end of the current storyline, we would see him
Yep.
escaping.
Yes, rather
You know
than
what I
just
mean?
telling us he's escaping.
Yeah, so just to
Yeah.
give a little bit more to that story.
Yeah.
Um, outside of this, I don't have much to pull out of the monthly report. It was
Yeah.
pretty
Look,
iffy. I mean, we
most of
get
it
a
is
little
talking
peek at
about
Raylan stuff.
yeah, most of it's talking about the ships that were released last month because there was obviously a lot of them. They do mention that the Liberator is in pre-production,
Yep.
which is an interesting one. Uh, uh, I don't think there's any way that gets done before IAE. I think it's a bit cutting too close, so we'll probably see it maybe
It's a
in
next year
next year
ship.
or like a
Yeah.
patch or something. Um, Otherwise, a lot of stuff that we already knew about. I'm bringing it up myself as well because I mentioned that there was something in the monthly report
There was
that
something
was
missing
pertinent to a thing I said earlier.
in the monthly report.
Uh, is mission design not there? I forget.
No, the entire core
Oh,
gameplay
yes.
section was not in in the monthly report.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
not
what
there.
core gameplay got added that wasn't mission related, right?
It's but the monthly
So
report is not about what got added, it's about what's being worked
yeah,
on, right? So
that's
it's
fair.
like, that is an interesting omission. That sucks, but I'm sure something's worked on. It doesn't mean that it's not. It's just like, where
Yeah.
is that?
So yeah, so a couple of relevant things. So in the online tech section, they talk about the social chat feature, also known as MVP,
I
being
forgot to
worked
include
on.
that in We Can Review. Yeah, let me find it.
So sweet because this is the first mention of the social features that they've been working on in like a couple months. Um, uh, so the social systems pipeline continues to grow with friends, online presence, party viewer, and orgs, each formally tracked as upcoming deliverables for future milestones. So this is more or less just a rework. The first iteration sounds like it's just going to be a rework of comms, and
And it
then
also
the
says
other stuff comes later.
MVP. What does MVP mean?
Yep. Most valuable player.
No, minimum viable product. So it's going to be the minimum thing that they can do to say that they've introduced social chat to you. And then all
Yeah.
those other things are these things that are coming in the future. So just like we showed you about tier 0 item recovery and what will likely happen with these transaction things,
Yeah.
keep your expectations calmed on this. So many people, I see it. Wait till we get social tools, social tools, social tools, social tools. I'm sure you see it in your Twitch chats
Yeah.
too. People mention it all the time, and I think they've set their expectations too high. And I think CIG has done a fairly decent job outside of Jared. I think he's done a terrible job on this. Sorry, Jared. Well, no, I'm not sorry. That the social tools thing is going to be more impactful initially than
Yeah.
it will be, but their plans are very impactful, but they're
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like those plans are currently in actual production motion.
Yeah. It sounds like they've made the flow chart, and that's what they did
Correct.
for
They've
this
had a
news.
meeting. Congratulations. Like this, I
Yeah.
swear they have more meetings than they have playtests, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Um,
that's
yeah.
that's where I think we should kind of keep this one is like, whoa, your
Yeah.
chat might look a little different, guys.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
maybe it works more consistently. Who
I
knows?
hear people saying that VoIP
Um,
is working more
yeah.
consistently
It
this
has been,
patch.
yeah,
So there's that.
which is surprising.
Maybe this is a
Um,
factor there.
Later in online tech as well, they talk about this is what I was thinking like might have caused a couple of these like player locking issues is Hex. So for Hex, the team released version 339, which introduces new player support capabilities, improved entitlement tracking, expanded account ownership view, and more. This feels like it's very like heavily tied into a lot of potential issues that people have had over the course of the last month, and so it made me wonder: is this possibly the cause of some of that? Is this release? Um,
Perhaps.
which we'll probably never find out, but yeah, just an interesting one.
Nah. There's another one here where where are you? Graphics design. Planet Team made
Yeah,
large strides with Genesis, and they're closing out the elements of the core tech and move on to polished performance and stability tasks. So
yeah.
we heard from the stuff that was coming out of Bar Citizen. I believe 4.10 is next one. So just
They
a
said that
couple
we're
months
getting
away.
them this year, right?
Oh, was it this year?
My, I believe it was this year. I don't think they explicitly said 4.10. My vote is on 4.11 because presumably 4.9 comes out next month
Sure.
with the cadence that they've been doing of patch releases, and then that's already July. So then you've got September for 4.10, then you've got November for 4.11, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So
So we'll see. That's where we're at right now. Is it sounds like it's closing out, and that's a very exciting
yeah,
thing to see. I think a lot of people are
yeah,
anxiously awaiting to see what that has to do with
hmm
anything. The economy stuff, they talked a lot and said a lot of nothing. I think they pointed out that they might standardize pricing based on the quality of items, because when they said brackets, I think that's sort of what they might mean
yeah,
there. Yeah, but that's really it. Nothing too notable here,
yeah,
I would say.
yep.
Also, mag
Mostly ship
locking was
focused
mentioned.
because it was defense.
Yeah, and then
Yes. Yeah, they
this was
talk a
the
little bit about like insurance and stuff.
this was the sneak peek a couple weeks ago or last week, and it's just
And it
subscriber promo
works.
stuff. Does it? I haven't used it yet, but
I've seen lots of videos of it working because
cool.
I don't do the subscriber promo stuff anymore, but I fully plan to steal someone's now that I know that it works.
Nice, hell yeah. Anything else? I don't think so.
Those are the last major ones. The other one I wanted to touch on, which is just kind of the funny drama of the week that lasted like 2 days
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
had some very interesting elements to it. So there was, as all good drama starts, there was a Reddit post a couple of days ago from a player who said that, hey, I am a $5,000 backer, and CIG have banned me because I submitted a bug report. Right?
Ooh, I'm actually
Um,
involved in this in a very loose and funny way. Like, this post affected
interesting,
me. It's very funny.
interesting.
Go ahead.
So yeah, posted that the uproar was crazy. Like the amount of people that jumped on that. It's a big week for drama, obviously. So people were ready to go like, God damn it, CIG, why would you do this? How dare you? Blah blah blah.
He was just
And that
trying
went
to
on for like
help.
a day or two. Yeah, he's just trying to help, guys. This
Come
could
on.
happen to you. Don't submit
Yeah.
bug reports. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. I think a day or two later, I don't remember exactly the timing, but a day or two later, I think Xylo responded to the post and was like, "Look, we're gonna unban him, but here's like a little bit of context, guys." And it was kind of like, "Look, we wanted to make sure that the ban was all proper and everything, and there was lots of suspicious behavior that is not mentioned in this post, and sort of goes on that way, and talks about the unbanning." And the bit that I'm not caught up on is how we found out. But we did find out that this guy, huge history of duping, huge history of RMT. Like this guy
Like,
has
should have
been,
been banned.
yeah,
Probably.
100% should have been banned.
Yeah.
So a very, very funny few days of like a lot of the community coming together to be anti-CIG based on one guy kind of shit posting on Reddit.
Yeah. Like,
Who also then was caught trying to sell his account after it got unbanned.
yep,
Yeah.
which is great. So, like, what a
Yeah.
joke. It's the classic, like, look over here. Look.
Yeah.
I'm not doing any of this over here. Meanwhile, I've heard
It's the
stories of
yeah.
these people that were attaching railguns or something like Idris railguns to FPS weapons and then killing
Yeah.
people with them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
crazy stuff like that, okay?
Yeah.
So like there's just
Uh
like goofy exploits that people were doing. And listen,
yeah.
I get doing that like to see it work and laugh,
Yes.
but I imagine, like, I've also heard stories of
I don't think it was a just a laugh
streamers
situation.
and YouTubers constantly being attacked by this exact issue.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
to me,
100%.
and if you just spend any moment of time on Twitter and Star Citizen Twitter in general, you will see a lot of the bad actors covering up what they're doing with like whataboutism and look over here and look
Yeah.
over there kind of stuff all the time. And this was
Yeah.
just another example of an attempt at that, which is pretty funny. So good on him. He almost got away with it, but didn't. But he actually did get away with it because they unbanned him.
Yeah.
I don't understand that aspect of
I
it. You seem kind of okay with it,
it's
but I'm all
I'm
for just
okay with
like
it just in like
get rid of him.
I feel like if when like Xylo made that post, if he just responded with like, nah, this guy's wrong and like here's the actual story, I feel like a lot of people would just be like, nah, you're lying, Xylo, you're trying to save face, that sort of thing. So I feel like unbanning but then also having the real information come out is just better PR in a certain case.
Okay. I mean, yeah,
Um,
I don't care either
yeah,
way, really, to be honest. But post 1.0, It shouldn't get
Yeah,
this far. You shouldn't get
yeah,
this far
100%.
and get away with it. Like that's that.
Yeah.
I guess that's my mentality there.
The post itself is very funny to me. It reminds me of
It's
like,
hilarious.
you go to like Google right now and you go to any store that you frequent or whatever and you look at the Google reviews. Guaranteed one of the reviews there will be like, "Oh, Billy's Chinese was absolutely terrible. I can't believe that they kicked me out because all I wanted was to eat a succulent Chinese meal, blah, 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 blah." And then, like, you get the response from the store being like, "Hi, this guy, like, pulled out a gun in the middle of dinner
Uh,
service and
yeah,
blah, blah, blah," right? It's like, you're withholding some information here that's a bit
yeah.
pertinent.
It's if you guys have followed the bricks and minifigs saga, like
Yes.
there is clearly some bad acting by Ben.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
like this guy is not an angel here in this situation
yeah,
either. Obviously, I think he's more in the right than the other group, but whatever. Not for this podcast. 30K.
yeah.
So the the how this is related to me is really funny. So
Okay,
we go all the way back to the 4.8.1 transaction changes, right? And I'm like, all right,
mhm,
well, let me try and do these transactions on stream, record it so I have like footage for we can review and we can like look at it together, discuss it, so on and so forth. So one of my
yeah,
org mates is transferring me money back and forth. 990K at a time, blah, 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 blah. And we're like counting, trying to find what the limit is. And he's
yeah,
going and going and going. And we're like, it's been well over 5 transactions, well over 5
mhm,
million. And it keeps going. Like, what the hell? And I'm like, all right, well, you've given me so much at this point. I got about 25 million without it stopping. And it was like, okay,
yeah,
so maybe the limit is not 5. Uh, and we're like, what? So then I continuously give him 990K back. And
yeah,
then I was like, oh, one piece of footage that I haven't shown yet is it failing.
yeah,
So I just added another 0 and it went
mhm.
through.
Interesting.
But I like did some I like clicked in a weird way to like try to speed up the process of
Yeah.
paying him back because it was like so many transactions. And it instantly gets posted on Reddit that I found an exploit to get around the trading thing. And then Reddit started saying like I was like that guy that got banned.
So true.
Ban these streamers.
So true.
This like there was posts that I should be banned. Meanwhile, I was like literally just testing the
Yeah.
thing and just trying to see what was wrong with it. And I'm just dying laughing at the scenario because they're like, get him! Like the pitchfork started coming out a little bit. Like a lot of
It's
people were
very
like, dude,
funny.
he's just testing.
Yeah,
But
yeah, very funny that if you had gotten banned, you would have been what that guy claimed on the Reddit post. You would have actually
exactly,
have been a
exactly.
person testing and they got banned.
I was just testing, like, and but the he gets unbanned and I get banned, right? Like it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
just like
yeah,
been the most ironic situation of all time. But yeah,
yeah,
what was actually happening was, at the exact moment that I was testing, they were changing the numbers. So just
yeah,
to continue that discussion on just a little bit, they are able to act very quickly, and if they feel
yeah,
like these numbers are not what they want, they can adjust them like basically on the fly while the game is open. So
yep,
keep that part in mind. That's like a part of the story, but it was very very funny.
yeah,
Like because everybody loves to want me banned, and then it was like there were some people getting in on that, like this guy's the
yeah, yeah.
worst, and so on and so forth. So, all right, well, I guess it's time for callers. We only have one,
Just one
but
one last quick one, which is
feel free.
SGF. Just because we'll mention it. So there was lots. Summer
Yep.
Games Fest happened. Uh, Not many, like some cool games got announced, but nothing crazy or anything like that.
Well, for the same
Um,
reason why CIG isn't announcing anything, most likely, right? Is nobody wants to compete with the
yeah,
obvious elephant in the room.
exactly. Yeah, you do not want to, and
No one's spending
every
money on
time we mention
marketing right now.
someone talks about, yeah, you do not want to compete with GTA 6 for multiple reasons. Doesn't matter if no one who's playing your game is going to
Yeah.
is not going to be playing it. It doesn't matter. There are other things that are involved, including like marketing decisions, ad spend, all that sort of stuff, right?
Yep.
And so a lot of companies are waiting to find out what's happening with GTA 6 before they pull their trigger. Um, so obviously, the reason we bring this up, nothing Squadron 42 related. They
Do
had
you see
mentioned,
Twitch chat? before you continue?
Yes, of course.
The PC game show is tonight. So every night
Oh my god.
there's been a different copium. So it was the
There
Summer Games Fest, the regular show. Then it was the
There's
indie
the
developers.
independent, yeah.
So that's got to be CIG. Now it's the PC game show. It's tonight. So that's got to be CIG.
Yeah, yeah.
Guys, CIG is Squadron 42 has to be marketed like Exodus.
Yeah, it has to be a proper AAA launch, essentially.
If they're going to do it at a Summer Games Fest, I don't think it's going to be some side thing. Now, I would
Yeah.
not be surprised if they did it at the PC game show either, right?
I would be surprised.
It's
I think
cheaper.
it's not. It is cheaper, but $1 billion. So, but yeah, so they obviously didn't talk about Squadron. There was lots of people going, "Oh man, Jeff Keighley tweeted out the last game of the night is going to be a single player narrative game," and people lost their minds. And it's like, no, it's clearly going to be High Guard 2, guys.
To be fair, I didn't think it was going to be Exodus or whatever. Exodus is the right game, right?
It was the third Final Fantasy VII remake.
Wait, I thought it was the Mass Effect.
No, they didn't show that at all.
The Mass Effect, like not Mass Effect, but
Not
the
the
other
one
one.
you're talking about. The one that's got for whatever reason Matthew McConaughey is part of the the creation of the game.
Oh, I
No,
missed
they didn't
this
talk about that.
entirely.
Not at least not for yeah, there you go, future game show. So that was not part of SGF.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
My
so
days
the
are
last
mixing
game
together.
was the third Final Fantasy VII remake game.
I don't care. Okay, cool. That's why I don't remember, because don't care.
Give me the Final Fantasy X remake. But the reason this is important is because I was thinking SGF 100%. They're gonna do it for like the last couple of months until last week when it came out at the Bar Citizen that they said we're not doing anything in SGF. So now like the only like event that makes sense to still announce Squadron and still kind of release this year is Gamescom. And that's about 2 months away.
August. Yeah.
Yes. And if they do not do it then, it is not coming out this year, or they completely screw up their marketing, which I think one thing CIG have never really like
When is GDC?
slowed down on is their thing. As in games done quick.
No,
No,
Game Developer Conference. When that was, I think it's October, because that was when Star Citizen was announced. That was the initial Star Citizen announcement. Was that GDC?
I thought it got announced at Gamescom, didn't it?
No.
No?
GDC was in March, so it can't be
Well, either
that.
way,
Okay.
it was March this year, and the next one's next March. So
Yeah, it can't be.
yeah, it won't be that.
And
But
I
yeah,
agree.
like
If they're going to do
if
it,
you're
that's a
gonna
good
do it-
place.
If you're going to do it at a large one and still release it this year, that's the last one. If you don't do it then, it's not coming out this year.
They can also do it there and announce a 2027 release date.
For sure, 100%. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with
that is
doing
for
that,
sure
in my
the
opinion. At this stage, with what we know about what games are coming out and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That is, we're talking about Gamescom. If
Yeah,
that's
Gamescom, sorry. Yeah.
not aware, that is a logical thing, and from my perspective. So yeah, but they did come out and say nothing at Summer Games Fest. So I don't know why we keep thinking that they're going to do it. They're tricking us.
Because we're all just full of hopium. I saw a Twitter post that was like, I expect nothing and I'm still disappointed. But that was in regards to them not announcing Squadron. It's like, why are you expecting this much?
Because they just want to. It's like, I want it so bad, I'm going to believe it into existence. And I just, again, I don't understand why we want it so bad. I want it to be successful. So you want it to be either today it comes out and doesn't compete with Grand Theft Auto, or it comes out after. Like I want them to be successful. I know what the game is going to be. I already know it's going to be, I'll enjoy it and others won't. And that'll be that. But you want as many eyes on it as possible. So it's either now or it's next year. Just
for sure.
Pick one, and I think it's obvious which one it's going to be. Cool.
Yeah, I think that was the last thing. So we'll go to calls, and if you want to call into the Answer the Call show in the future, or possibly even now, we can probably
fit another one in.
You can go into if you're on YouTube, the description down below, hit the link into the Discord, head into the green room. If you're over on Twitch, you can go my podcast, follow the link, and we can talk about, what your experiences are in 3.8.1 and other stuff too.
Yeah. All right. So we'll bring on Odd Job Entertainment. I gotta hyphenate or condense the name a little bit so it fits on the thing. But what's up, Odd Job?
How are we doing our job?
Hey,
How's it going?
I'm doing great. Yeah, sorry, just had to switch the audio over, so I'm not listening to you guys on YouTube anymore.
All good.
How are we doing today?
We're good. We're good.
Oh, just peachy. So happy. They should tell you when you do like baby classes, you're gonna be sick every 2 weeks for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And that was something that I used to work as a medical assistant too. And so I was constantly sick for my first year. After that, immune system built out of steel. Nothing could get me sick.
Yeah.
I think the reality, Croncy, is you're just going to be miserable, and you're going to have to do stuff anyways.
Oh, like a Star Citizen backer, am I right?
Yeah. You should already be prepared for this.
Yeah, you've been training for parenthood through Star Citizen.
A child is much like an elevator bug when it really comes down to it.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yep. What do you want to talk about today?
Okay, so I don't know if this is a little off topic, but I wanted to talk a bit about faucets, sinks, mining, and refining.
I think it's very on topic because it's the reason why we have these restrictions.
It's also, like I said, we're presumably getting some narrative mining missions in 4.9.
So the big thing that they've said about not allowing players to refine to higher quality materials is that eventually that will just result in everybody having high quality stuff, right?
Yes.
To me, that sounds like a mismatch in faucets and sinks, more so than it's related to any game mechanic, because you guys have been really good today, and you haven't even mentioned another space game. So far be it from me to mention it, but I have seen, other scenarios where, given enough time, anyone can stockpile huge amounts of resources. I mean, Star Citizen itself is proof of that.
Yep.
Given enough time, even without any results, you can get $1 billion.
Yeah.
And so it's not that, players are going to instantly have all this high quality stuff. It's that they don't have the sinks required to make something like that work. And why is that?
Yeah, but after last week, I posted the week in review video where I was like, oh, we have nothing to talk about, so I'm going to discuss mining. And that was a big factor of I was like, all these other games I play, they'll just simply say, oh, it costs 3 SEU to make an FPS weapon, where logically that doesn't make any sense. But they'll just say that this, like, the sink is a material sink. It's not just money sinks that we need, right? So like games like any other space game I've ever played that has crafting in it, or any other game that has crafting in it, has you just use an insane amount of material. So then you have to go out and continue to mine, and then it's okay to have a lot of material in a rock, and then you balance from there. But the satisfactory experience was filling your ship. It was a satisfying thing to do. And then, you use that material when crafting. So it's like right now we're in this weird place with mining where, I mine for 4 hours and I have, half an SEU of material of any significant value for crafting in my hold. It's kind of an awful experience.
Yeah, and it was actually that video that got me thinking a lot about this. And I think in that video, you also mentioned that you spend probably 3% mining and then the rest of the time scanning, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And to me, that is a testament to how bad the scanning function is. I mean,
It's just quickly. I don't know if it's the function as much as it is the philosophy of what they want what they want the mechanic to look like. Yeah. I think that's the problem. It's like scanning mechanic is fine, but like the idea that they want us to spend that much time trying to find stuff is the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are some definite issues with the mechanic itself, like cluster of Baradom, you can't read that. You kind of guess at what it is because you can maybe pick out a
See
B.
the first letter or the last letter. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some clear issues there that, I thought we were supposed to have much better UI by this point. It seems like that hasn't come to fruition yet.
Oh, we do.
We haven't.
It's just in Squadron 42. You just need to be patient. You don't understand game development.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like we did get the UI update from Squadron, and then it's still and like it was a good update. Like remember we didn't have like the yellow pips for like mission markers and stuff like that. Like the game got a lot more readable when they got introduced, but then they didn't add in like changes for the MMO aspects of the game. So it's like we're still using a single player UI that's pretty decent, pretty polished for a single player game. But not necessarily, here's my 10 deposit of Baradom. I can't read anything. Here's my, hey, we had to change how Hephaestionite comes up on the UI because the word's too long,
Yeah, Mr. Kraken is single-handedly fixing the UI himself, it seems.
Yeah.
Well, and you mentioned those yellow pips. I was doing a defend mission, trying to see if I could get that to work the other night. And you have all these different protect icons. I couldn't even find my escort target at that point. It was buried in all these other yellow pips.
That's a good one too. Maybe that was why it was so difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the number of ships. It's actually just trying to find what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So getting back to it a little bit, they don't have the sinks, they don't have the faucets lined up. I'm working on a video right now that talks about how steel goes from iron ore in the earth to a finished product, and I'm presenting as kind of like a Star Citizen video in disguise because I'm trying to move more into like engineering focused content.
Yep.
But I hate to push realism in games where it doesn't make sense, but I do think that there's a lot of elements in the realistic refining process where if they applied it to Star Citizen, it would make a lot of sense. One of them being, if you are committing to turning on a blast furnace, you're committing to keep that running forever. It is a cost of millions of dollars to ever shut that off because it will completely damage the blast furnace and you'll have to replace the entire inside lining. And so in my idea, I'm thinking, what if we just replace quality with purity, and then the purity affects the yield you get from a given rock. And so finding a high purity rock means that you get a bit more iron out of that rock, and you can keep your blast furnace running for a bit longer without having to pay to replace it.
That kind of already exists. It's just purity is the percentage of the rock already, right?
Yeah, and I guess that's true.
I think
So
the
to
problem
clear,
is
I do like the idea of when they said that like one of the secondary things that quality will do with multiple blueprints that have secondary slots or whatever is like the higher quality will mean the less amount of material you need to use and stuff like that. I did like that idea generally, but it did kind of make me think, why don't we just do that for everything?
Yeah.
Why don't we just have that be a thing?
I was more along the lines of I don't think quality is the solution. It's a lot of it has become a lot of the problem, right? So CIG did all of these, and I mentioned this in the video too, is the CIG did a lot of really good things with mining, and then quality got introduced and kind of ruined a lot of the good things that they did. For example, I know where to find, if I want to find Hephaestionite, I don't have to scan very often to find it. If I want to find iron, I don't have to scan very often to find it, and I can name every other rock that way, right? Except for the really rare stuff like Janolite, Quantanium, I might have to ping a lot and I'll eventually find it because they're rare, and that's its own thing. But if we want to mention the other games that we play, you literally just know what's there before you even get to the location, and then if they're valuable, people know they're valuable, you go there and compete over those resources or whatever. If we want that in Star Citizen, sure, maybe not. I don't care. That's not what I want to argue right now. the quality ends up creating this weird situation where now I have done all these great things to scan less because I know where exactly the abundance of this ore is, but now I don't want any of it that I find. So that part sucks. And then number two is this is a very odd thing where because CIG doesn't have any skills or real progression in their game, they're trying to force it upon us in these weird ways that don't make any sense. So we already have the idea of like leveling shit up and creating like better quality things where you take iron and turn it into steel, like the example that they gave. And then you turn steel and turn it into Durasteel. And then you turn Durasteel and turn it into something else later, right? So we've already created the idea of better quality or stronger or whatever, right? And now we're doing it twice. And it's just like it's like overload, and it's like very just, what are we doing? We're disjointed, we're disconnected. Like, does this make sense? Is this going to be fun? To me, the argument is no. And that's why I made that video, is just like, it's not entirely time to go all the way back to the drawing board, but it might be. Like, we're missing something here. And that's why I made that video, and I hope I got that point across, was like, dude, I want to go up to a rock and I don't want to see impossible anymore. Like, I just want to collect ore. So yeah,
I wonder how deep they're going to make like homestead mining and how that's going to come into all this as well, because that'll fundamentally change how you feel about, you know, doing this kind of activity.
Maybe.
So
but
it'll be an interesting aspect.
we have info about it. Like, the only info is that this is the only public info we have about it, is that the ore that you find on planets that you mine with a prospector or mole is one thing. Then you have the ore that you find that are like gems, because those are vehicle mining and hand mining. And then the underground mining is another just separate material. So it's like entirely segmented from the experience. So I don't know. It's like Eve PI kind of.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. So it's I said it. Fuck. But yeah.
I was trying to save you.
Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do anymore. And that's like the big thing that's weird, is like it sounds like a bunch of people designing the game individually, and then they try and come together and like make their ideas make sense together, and they just don't all the time.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I think it would make a lot more sense to just allow players to refine up to the higher quality stuff and work on adding more sinks.
Yeah. But not just money sinks, material sinks too, right? Which is where I think you kind of came in initially.
Yeah. I mean, like you're saying, if you want to upgrade a material, just make it take a egregious amount of material to get to that next tier.
Yeah.
I would much rather have a high quality item be the result of a advanced crafting process than
or effort.
Feel like I have to get stuck with low quality stuff all the time.
Yeah, or effort. Like you say, like having to take a lot of material means that I made the effort to go find it. But the effort to find something now is a bad experience. And if I was mining consistently, that experience may take the same amount of time, but the experience would be less bad. So like, I didn't come to this conclusion until you just said it now, but that's like, they don't have to completely change mining to the way that I laid it out in that video. And this saves a lot of time and effort. But if you, just change the way maybe you refine, or change the way you hit the quality numbers that you're looking for, it might solve a lot of those problems. I don't know.
Yeah, if it still takes 16 SCU to get to a 900 SCU, a 900 quality-ish 1 SCU, there you go. You've just invested a huge amount of resources to make 1 SCU of good stuff. And I think that's where I was really coming at it with the purity. Like, if you can actually just get a higher purity item, then you have to use less material to get there.
Yeah, so that's the RNG and the luck factor. Like, holy shit, I found a really pure rock, but it doesn't. You're not just searching for that. You're gonna stop and mine lower purity stuff as you go, and it's more of a like ooh moment instead of a nope. Possibly, but it depends. Like, is that higher purity item the difference? This is the problem I think that we have right now is 950 plus or 900 plus quality rocks are so much more desirable than 550 quality at the moment.
Yes.
Whereas
Yeah, huge disparity.
like the highest purity rock in your example should be, I'm just going to give a random number, it doesn't actually matter, 15% better than the lowest purity rock. Where it's like, ooh, that's better, but I'm not actively seeking that number out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on the scanning front, I feel like something even more akin to satisfactory would be kind of more the direction I would like to see things go.
Describe
Like
that for people who haven't played.
Yeah, so satisfactory, you have this little handheld wand. You set it to the material you're looking for. You do a ping, and then it puts a visual indicator on your screen for where the nearest node
on your
is.
compass as well, specifically, so it makes it very easy to travel to.
Yes, yeah, that's right. And so it pings the nearest node. You find it instantly. There's not a lot of skill involved in the scanning, but honestly, do we want scanning to be this thing that you need a doctorate to do?
No.
I just want to get it over with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Idiotic to have to ping and divide by 9200 to be able to know what rock you actually pinged.
Yeah,
like you've given us the information. Why make it hard?
Theoretically, we're 1,000 years in the future. The ship's computer should be able to do that math for me and tell me. Like that, it's the dumbest thing to make me think of, try to figure that out or memorize those numbers. That's not skill. That is unneeded friction, unnecessary friction.
Absolutely.
So yeah, yeah. I don't know what else.
That kind of covers it for me. Like I said, I'm working on that video. I think you'll find it really interesting. You've mentioned not knowing about steel production. I didn't know either, so that's why I started researching it.
Hell yeah, nice. All right, cool. So yeah, post it and then we'll take a look at it for sure, or at least I will on stream. And
all right,
we'll see it all. All right, bro. Well, good talk, and yeah, you opened my eyes to something I didn't think of, and I appreciate it. Maybe we don't need to completely overhaul everything, just more minor tweaks.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man.
Yeah, of course.
Talk to you later.
Have a good one, mate.
Guys, Odd Job Entertainment on YouTube and Twitch, I believe, as well. So check them out if you guys haven't yet. Okay. And then our next caller and final will be Croncy.
Croncy, how are we doing? Croncy. What?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Very quiet though.
Check, mic check. We heard you for a second there.
No, I'm just something. You hear me well in a good level?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the previous guy. I forgot his name. His idea about mining, about refining.
I take it back on the good level. You might want to turn up a little bit. What about you, Croncy? I have them at 200%.
Yeah, no, same. Okay. Yeah.
What about now?
Good.
That's better.
Thank you. All right, go ahead.
But I think that you need to like increase the number of the materials, because for me it won't take long to get 1,000 easily. So I can mine for 16 hours nonstop.
Okay, you're the exception.
In 15 minutes I can fill a golem. It doesn't take long.
Yeah, but what are you filling out a golem with?
Tyrannite, whatever. I can
what quality?
600, 700. You can find in an easy way 700s everywhere.
Sure.
And 800s.
But
so you can do that, but you have to balance the crafting with the new refining method, because you have to force people to what's the name? Use lower qualities in certain stuff.
Yes.
To get the max rewards. Otherwise, you don't get anything. You only break the system.
Yeah.
100%. That's like the
You can
big
also do
issue here
stuff
is
like
it's just not that material just isn't desirable. And
Yeah.
the solutions that they gave that Croncy talked about, like, oh, this sounds okay, is it doesn't seem desirable enough that like one determines the quality, the other one is just like the catalyst or whatever. And then the lower quality, the more you need. It doesn't feel like enough of a solution to solve that problem.
Yeah. What I would love to see is like give us blueprints that have like innate material. So like, let's say when you're building a P4, one of the materials you need is iron, and it does not care what quality it's at. But then there's another, like in order to still keep up the demand for the higher quality stuff, a different blueprint does have iron, and it does affect like the quality does affect the weapon, right? It means like you will have these situations where and once again, this is assuming they don't change most of the current system that probably needs to be changed. This is an attempt to try to fix maybe the current one. But it means you'll still have demand for both the high quality and the low quality, depending on what you're trying to make.
Yeah. And also just a note, like after I made that video, I sent it to some people at CIG, and they were like, and the people that work in the mining area, and they were like, yeah, okay, like it was a lot of we hear you. Like I don't know if they'll do anything about it, but they didn't dismiss it. And if they didn't agree, I don't think that they not like they heard it. They heard it, and they're taking that feedback in for sure, and they were not just dismissing the feedback. So that's a positive.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I don't know. Do you have anything else, Josiah? Because that's dude, I can't. I think CIG is definitely recognizing now, and it's why they did crafting at a very limited and in stages. And I think if we continue going any further, it's going to be difficult to move backwards and fix things. So I really hope this is the stage that, like, all right, we've taken the feedback in. Let's tweak and try and like we have the table, we have mining, we have refine. Like, let's tweak and twist and turn, and let's find the sweet spot now. Let's find what we like. Let's add this little thing in, and if we don't like it, take it out. Let's try this, and if we don't like it, take it out. Like, now's the experimental period. I think we've put the feature in. Let's experiment, and let's be I don't want to use the word patient with them, but let's allow them to experiment, I guess. And then and let's find a really good system.
Give the feedback as it applies.
Yeah.
I agree, but there is one problem.
What is that?
Only one?
Yeah,
we're good. We're
only
good
one. No, in general, there's only one problem. They experiment a lot in private. We don't have they don't put it on the tech preview. They need to put more raw stuff.
Okay, I understand that. If every single idea they wanted to test, they put through testing, like as in like the public testing, tech preview and PTU and stuff, it would be even longer for this mechanic to get through. You have to give them some trust in regards to like them testing something in private that doesn't require a lot of upkeep, and then being able to go, no, this sucks.
Yes, but the problem with CIG is their willingness to put something in that is ugly.
Sure.
Like they could not put in the crafting table without it being of the highest quality. They did for a while there have the UI looking shittier than it does now. Which was actually, I was like, oh, okay. They were actually willing to put it in like a very basic form. But they always have to overdo it on the visual side before putting it in the game, and I don't. So like for me, I'd like to see less of that, more like who cares what it looks like? Is it fun? Stuff.
Exactly. They need
but you are right, Croncy. Like they can't try everything.
Yeah, if they try everything that if they let us try everything that they come up with,
try more things is at least what I'm assuming Josiah is saying.
I mean that, for example, if they rework crafting, they did the experiments in private, blah blah blah. They need to put something raw for us to test if it's fun.
Yeah.
Because if you work 2 years in something and you don't know if it's fun, you waste your time. Once it reaches live servers, you need to change it again. So
Yeah, like
we've
guys,
been doing that for 10 years.
they talk 2 years about quality and they put it in and it ends up being really unfun. And I don't know how many people want it to stay.
And they changed it in 6 months. And we went from 0 to 1,000 to six qualities. That is like any MMO out there, like
Yeah.
World of Warcraft. So
And they
they
changed
went
that
back.
not in
They
6
wasted
months.
time.
They changed that in
that
6
was like
days.
the next month. Yeah.
Well, 6 days, but they waste their time.
Yeah. That feels like a lot of time wasted and a lot of meetings and things like that that could have been solved if it was put in the game in 2024 when they first talked about 2025 when they first talked about it properly.
I think it's important to note that like a lot of our frustrations with quality and stuff like that, though, probably would not have felt like they materialized properly in a PTU or a tech preview because it needed the added.
They didn't.
Of like,
I was praising
it needed the added. It needed the added bonus of like, this is permanent. This stuff that I'm doing, and and what does this look like long term? So you have to keep that in mind as well.
I made so many positive videos about this idea because in the PTU, it felt better because they were kind of playing with the numbers and I was finding 900 quality consistently. And I was thinking to myself, holy shit, if things actually explode all the time, this is going to feel pretty good. We'll be making these stuff all like, so, all the, as things were floating around, I was like, ooh, this feels pretty good. And then they made a couple changes and then it went live and it was like the grind and all the things started and it was like, whoa. This sucks.
Yeah.
Very quickly, it went from I love this to I actually despise it. Very quickly.
It was a similar thing for me. What happened when they did engineering? I was like, look, the mechanics are looking cool. The urgency seems real. And then once it got actually into game and I started playing like day by day, I was like, oh, I just never am interacting with this system.
Because you're testing in the PTU. So you're specifically going to it to like tweak and play with it. But then when you're playing in practice, it either is a non-factor or it's not fun. In these two examples, at least, some things I'm sure are fun. I mean, we tested Hathor like crazy, was awful in the PTU, never worked. And then when it went live, the pressure was on and it really mattered. And it was one of the best experiences I've ever had, right? To give the opposite POV. But yeah. Anything else, Croncy? Because we wanted to end around now-ish, so we'll start wrapping it up.
One last thing is the economy.
Okay.
They need to make the fuel on the ships to be like persistent. So if you claim your ship and you don't have fuel, it comes back in your hangar with no fuel.
And then you have to refuel it from there, and it's a little bit of a cost.
Same with the ammo.
Yep.
You could say with the component if they're damaged. You need to make more things everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not realistic, blah, 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 but it's a game. You need to put that stuff to take from the player.
Theoretically, it's realistic. Somebody went out and found your ship and brought it back.
Yeah, but insurance give you a new car with the. That's what I mean.
No, yeah, it's not realistic because insurance just keep on giving me my claims, no questions asked.
Yeah,
that's the unrealistic.
They're not making me fight for my money. What's going on here?
Yeah, can you please fill out these 10 forms before you get your hammerhead back?
Your call will be answered in 14 hours. Would you like to request a callback and never get a callback? Yeah. So yeah, true, but that's yeah,
we do need more things, 100%. Yeah.
Don't have to say much else. All right, Croncy, we'll let you go because we want to end a little bit early today. But thank you for calling in and everything. All right.
Yes, you have fun.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye. All right, and I saw like somebody else popped in, but we were only going to take a few calls today. I didn't notice them until now, so my apologies, Nico. But that's it for today. We have a sick Croncy, but we got a Croncy, and I think we had a really good chat. I kind of like to keep it like this anyway. The flow of today was so much nicer. I thought because I just didn't ramble on as much. So
Yeah, I enjoy the weeks where there's like I am a little bit of a drama frog. I enjoy the weeks where there's a little bit of drama.
Yeah.
But especially when it's concluded. A lot of the drama started and finished during the week, which is nice.
Yes. I love it too, obviously. So it was a good time this week to just watch all the stuff. I just didn't involve myself much in that I spent 5K and got banned thing for some reason. I was just like, oh, this guy's obviously like exploiting and just hiding it through this post.
I definitely
he's like looking for attention.
I 100% got duped.
Really?
When I saw that post, I was like, I was definitely, I didn't comment on anything or anything like that. I left it as it is, but I was definitely like, damn, Sergi, how dare you? How could you do that to this guy?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no. I caught on to that one pretty quick, I guess, but I've just maybe I'm spending my time in other places in the Star Citizen community internet where it's just that kind of crap constantly. But yeah. So that'll end our show, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Do the usual things if you're new here. We hit 7,000 subs on YouTube, so that's kind of cool. So thank you for that, guys. And then yeah. So we appreciate you guys watching. Give us some feedback in the comments. Let us know what you think about the show. And if you guys are watching on Twitch, make sure you follow both myself and Croncy. And yeah, we look forward to talking to you guys next week. Just before we go, do you have any expectations for next week besides possibly Alien Week stuff? Or is that all we're going to see? Week, right? Dude, like, where's this dude been? He got secretly recorded at a Bar Citizen 2 weeks ago and then just said, I'm not making videos anymore. I guess that's what that post meant. I don't know.
I got to imagine, so if Alien Week is next week, then I imagine we'll get some video content in regards to, like, like a behind the ships or something. But no, I don't really like. The biggest thing is like how 4.8.1 is going to evolve over this week.
Yeah.
Please do not let us come back next week and it still be as broken as it is today.
Oh, it will be.
More broken.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It will be. No, it may not be more broken, but like Xeno threat might be released or whatever. Yeah, it'll be like different broken stuff. Like, well, hopefully we will have had the defend missions re-added. More fun. There's supposed to be alien defend missions as well, apparently, remember?
Yes.
So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, looking forward to seeing that stuff improve. But it might be a pretty slow week. Something that I have not mentioned and that is not on this scene, and I will try to add very, very quickly, if I can. And I'm sure you will not mind. And I'm sorry I did this at the end and not in the beginning. There is a little QR code on the bottom of the screen. One of the guys who has helped set up this podcast for years, Zeus Noxia. A lot of people know this. I post this in the video, went around the community a lot. And I hope some of you who maybe just like watch the podcast and nothing else see this. In 2018, was driving to CitizenCon to visit people from the Star Citizen community for the first time. He's very shy. Nobody ever heard I did not hear his voice in Discord until last year for the first time. Okay? Like, that's how shy he is. And he was willing to go to this event in 2018 and got rear-ended by an 18-wheeler. And it ruined his life. Okay? And through all of this, all these complications throughout the time in 2018, he has now degraded, I guess this is the only way I can think of it, to a point where he is paralyzed from the waist down, can't breathe, and he lives in Romania and is not getting the best healthcare possible. So he was too prideful or shy to ask for help. Somebody reached out to me. I reached out to him and begged him to let me help. And we put together this. It's a wide donate. I can't do GoFundMe because the big thing for me was I am not going to take the money in because this is so much money, and I know what people think about me. I don't want to turn it into this thing where I could have done something. So I got all of his information. I had him create the why donate. I filled in the rest of the points with his information that I couldn't initially because he can't even pick up a phone. Like, I talked to him once a week for a moment. So the other thing is he can recover from all this with the proper stuff. So he's in the hospital right now because he didn't have a proper bed, got bed sores, got an infection, and he was struggling to breathe. So he is already, with the generosity of all of you guys, We're at 11,400 euros. He is able to buy that bed. He is able to buy the respirator, and the last little bits, which is $600 here or $550 now, will help finish up antibiotics, oxygen tanks, and things like that he'll need for a little while. So if you can afford to donate, please help out a fellow mate who just wanted to visit his friends at CitizenCon, and it literally ruined his life. So there's a QR code on the screen. I'll put the link in the description for it. Everything goes directly to him, and he'll have this money tomorrow, which is a beautiful thing. So if we could finish it today, that would be amazing. And he'll have his full 12,000 euros to be able to take care of himself tomorrow. He was going to have to get a loan to do this. And how is he going to work to pay off the loan, right? So beautiful thing. I complain about the Star Citizen community all the time. Beautiful thing that you guys did. And with less than a week, we completed the goal, basically. So thank you for that. You guys are amazing. And yeah, thanks for letting me take that time, Croncy, because I know you're tired and sick. But yeah,
no,
he's just a great guy, and it's a really unfortunate thing that happened. So yeah. But all right, that's that.
On that note,
thank you for watching, everybody, and we'll catch you later. I should have done that at the beginning, and I totally forgot. But then I saw the command pop up in the chat. So yeah, sad story, but he's a great guy, and he's going to recover it from it because of your help. So it's not a sad story at all. It's awesome. And he saw the news, feels great. So good on you. Great ending to the story. And yeah, that's what makes the Star Citizen community great. And yeah, you're great, guys, but you'd be really great if you remembered to
donate to the thing.
And
answer the call. That's what.
Yeah,
that's
answer the
what
call
it is,
too.
right?
Yeah, do that too.